Opened up from Rallock67. This is the jackpot of challenge locks. He's with Long's Locksmithing in Illinois. So you know these are all pinned up to specs. He assured me of that. And let's take a look at what we got. He names them all. And he usually uses stock locks with stock pins in such a way that it makes them really hard to get into. Spiteful, Schlag. So there's what your bidding's going to look like on that one. He sent a Sinister Sears, and he did put a note that said this is the only lock that doesn't come apart normally. You can see it's crimped actually on the back here, or cast. The only way to get into this lock after you pick it, or even before you pick it, is to remove the top cover. So we get that one picked. We'll see about getting in there. There's what the bidding looks like. All these, by the way, are custom pinned, and it looks like the keys are pretty well cut for a challenge. This one is the Wicked Evil's older brother. I had Wicked Evil in an earlier video. Not an easy lock. So if that's one even more, if that one's even more evil, then we're gonna have some problems. A Deceptive Defiant, and Defiants don't come pinned like that. Listen to that sound, man. What a cheap. That just inspires confidence, doesn't it? And let's see what this one obviously is a custom, very old, looks like a Faultless, kind of hard to tell through all the refinishing there, but someone has tapped this. This is a very heavy lock, so therefore means probably old. Here's what your pinning looks like. Wow, okay, so let's try this one. I say customized because you'll notice these little hex screws have been threaded into the top to make it easy for repinning and unpinning. I hope I don't have to take those out in order to get it gutted, but you never know. Alright, let's see if we can get that thing picked. Alright, works. We don't need no key. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this one. See if that fits. It does. It is a, by the way, a quick set key. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I have been experimenting with these 18 thousandths. Peterson, this is a Peterson gem. It's kind of a mix between the strength of the 25 thousandths and the flexibility of the 15 thousandths. So even though only 3 thousandths larger, it is quite a bit stiffer. Give you a little bit better feedback. All right, what I'm going to do on this thing, I'm going to try to pick it counterclockwise. And I'm going to put very tight tension on it, and we're going to force one or more pins to bind. Probably the first one is pin, feels like 2. So I'm going to lighten up on the tension. And I got a very slight click out of him. So tighten back up on the tension and force the second pin to bind. It feels like pin 5. So again, lighten up. Get my pick under him because he's all the way on the bottom, feels like. And we got a little click out of him. So tighten back up on the tension and work my way through and see what else is bound up. And at this point I got 2 bound pins rather. So while the tension is applied, I'm trying to see if I can get something to give it up, and it's not. So I just got to guess. So I'm going to lighten up on the tension and start right here in the front with pin 1. See if we get anything out of him. Got a click, but no turn on the core. Okay, I still have 3 bound pins, so I think from this point forward I'm going to have to lighten up on the tension and play it like a normal game. I'm on pin 4 trying to get under him. Okay, we got under him, I got a click. Okay, I'm on pin 2. And he doesn't want to come. Let me tighten this up a little bit more. That lock is flexing a little bit. Okay, pin 4 again. Got a click out of him. That again was 4. He keeps falling down, so I think maybe he's been picked out of sequence. A little crunching, so I suspect we have some threaded cylinders. I do have a fault set going, not much, but a little bit. Okay, a little bit of feedback there on counter rotation on pin 3. So let's see if we can work him in place. Okay, there we're on pin 4 again. Got to click out of him. Definitely not a stock faultless, guys. They're actually Fortress. Pin 3 again, counter rotation. Okay, I think we got him set that time. Pin 1. Got 2 clicks out of him. Okay, there was pin 2 again, another click. So that might be a serrated spool, because we had some counter rotation and then we picked him and got a click out of it. So everything's at this point is pretty solid. I got pretty light tension. The only thing I'm getting feedback is pin 4. I'm going to give him a little bit. Okay, I'm getting a click out of him. Pin 4 is falling again. There we go. Wow. Okay, I'm thinking there's a T-pin in there somewhere. There's pin... Well, I hate to do that. I'm not sure if I'm on. That was pin 4 again. I believe there's a T-pin in there somewhere now. He's probably the only one hung up. So I'm going to really lighten up on the tension and just kind of dance from pin to pin. See if I can force him above that shear line. Oops. I get nothing. I get no feedback. There we go. Dang, man. Alright, this has been a long pick, but I can't wait to see what's inside of this thing. Rallock always sends challenging stuff because he's a locksmith. He kind of can figure out what the binding sequence will be and pin it accordingly to make it especially frustrating. Alright. We do have a key for this, so I'm going to go ahead and lock it back up. And I have a tool that Jeff Moss gave me to maybe accelerate this a little bit. And it doesn't fit. This looks like an odd, an odd sized one. Doesn't matter. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to dump out that little spring. Okay, find the key, 90 degrees, get our follower. Okay, there are 5 pins. Doesn't look to be anything unusual so far. Let me pull these out of here. Okay, I'm looking at, let me dump these first. There are some threaded cylinders. Okay, we're looking at some serrated and gouged out looking pin. That's kind of unusual. Okay, it is threaded and looks like every single one of them, but not entirely to the bottom. For example, number 1 and number 4 only have 1 or possibly 2 threads. Number 2 and 3 look like they have 3 threads, and number 4 is threaded all the way to the bottom. Nice. Very nice. Alright, let's look at the magic. We got a serrated commercial. Serrated commercial. Looks like a spool. So no serrated spool there. It was just a regular spool. There was another serrated. And the last one, also we got a serrated. So let's take a look. I see some weirdness. Let me dump these springs to see if we did anything to the core or to the body. Okay, I don't see any threading in there, so completely normal. It's stock. And on the bottom here, let me turn these around. He's got a weird modified one in pin location number 4, and we'll hold him up in just a sec to take a look. Okay, so on the top we have all serrateds and one spool, and on the bottom we have a little serrated one, standard serrated, and this is the odd one, and the last one is a single serration. Let's take a look at that odd pin. I've never seen anything quite like this before. If we can get the camera to focus for us. This looks like he cut some grooves with a file in there to snag up on the threaded cylinder. Never seen that before. I suppose it would work. Anyway, Rallock67, Roger, sir. Thank you for the lock. Everybody else, stay safe, stay legal.